Alright, we are on the play in match 1 of this league. This hand's a keep. No interaction besides denials yet. Hopefully we'll be able to cantrip into some. This hand's a little tricky. We have the option to... Oh, I didn't click keep. Whoops. Sorry, opponent. Well, you get extra time to think, so I guess you can't complain. We have two routes with this hand. We can either get a breeding pool and visions. I would go breeding pool over steam vents in that particular case, so that we can cast Goyf Traverse instead of red spells that are not in our hand, and hope we just hit our land drop, or we go the safe way, get a Stomping Ground, use this Traverse, which is a guaranteed island, something I would like quite a bit, and then next turn we have the option of Serum Visions or Tarmogoyf, depending on what the opponent is up to. Wooded Foothills could be a lot of decks. Basic Mountain, fewer decks. Monastery, Swift Spear. Looks like we're playing against Burn. This hand isn't great against Burn, I must say. Okay, Wooded Foothills. So we're going to have another land. This will probably end up getting us a basic forest, I want to think. I'm just going to play the Tarmogoyf here. Get it onto the board. Probably better than using the visions and hoping we can hit a lightning bolt. We don't have very good blocks yet because the opponent can bolt our Goyf, but I suppose that's true of most scenarios. Then again, if they have multiple lightning bolts, then we're in real trouble. Here the opponent's kind of putting us both into a stall by playing out the Eidolon, which is a little interesting. Here's a forked bolt we could use to take out the Eidolon if we wish. A little unfortunate that Eidolon is still going to do a nice bit of damage to us, even if we elect to take that route. I might actually do that, though, because that puts Creature Enchantment in the bin. Goyf becomes a 4/5, and then we have Denial online. So I actually kind of like that. I don't like that it plays into their game plan, but I do kind of like that. It's a little awkward that if they have a follow-up Eidolon, we're basically back in the same spot. I don't think there's anything we can do to help that. Should we take out the Eidolon or the Swift Spear? If we take out the Swift Spear, Goyf is just a 3/4, which is definitely worse. I do think I want to be casting a lot of spells here. Yup. Eidolon trigger. We're going to go to 14, which is certainly unfortunate, but we're going to deal with that Eidolon. And I almost kind of want to start attacking here, but I think I would rather just hold up my mana, have my stuff to keep us safe. It's tricky. It's definitely tricky. I don't think we're the beatdown yet. Generally against Burn, you would like to have multiple creatures before you start going sideways, especially if you don't have a fistful of removal. We definitely don't. Creatures are really going to hurt us, but non-creature spells I don't think we care about, so maybe we just get in there? They played out Eidolon, which kind of suggests that they don't have a bunch more creatures. So I think I kind of want to start attacking here. Stubborn Denial, definitely a big part of that. If our hand was good against creatures, well actually we would just get in there anyways. Here's a Lava Spike. Do we counter that one? I think I want to save my denials, but at the same time, that's a decent one to counter. We can always fetch Shock if we need to counter a different spell. I think that's worth countering, given that we have 2 denials. Really, we want to be hitting the Lightning Helixes and the Boros Charms that they're going to be casting, but I think I'm okay with denialing a Lava Spike. Here's another fetch for our opponent. This could be a Boros Charm. If it is, I think we fetch Shock to counter it. It is, and I feel like that's almost worth it. We're going to end up taking... Yeah, it's the Fort of the Dome mode. Let's let the 1 trigger resolve. So we're going to take 3 off of Swift Spear, either 4 off of this. You know what? I'm just going to take it. Keep the denial in hand. Maybe we shouldn't have countered the Lava Spike. We're going to go down to 7 here. They skipped through their attack, apparently. That really sucks for the opponent. Wow. That's rough. Instants are in the graveyard now. Maybe they just wanted to shoot spells at us and keep their creature back to block. That's possible. I think I'm okay with fetching down to 9. We'll get a Steam Vents because I don't think double green is going to be close to relevant. Another Serum Vision's not great. We'll cast one of them. Mana Leak. Delver, I think, can go to the bottom. Yeah, I'd much rather find another fatty. Now, do we get aggressive again? We are swinging for 5. That's a lot, but we only have 1 counter up. So I think this turn I'm going to wait. That's a little weird, and I'm definitely waffling here because I attacked last turn and I'm not attacking this turn. However, I think that's justifiable in that last turn we had multiple counterspells if we needed them. This turn we don't. Here, I think I don't want to tap out for the Thought Scour. I'd rather just draw. It's a Hooting Mandrills, which is amazing. We definitely attack now. Playing Mandrills does mean we won't be able to have Leak plus Denial up, but I think I can live with that in a world in which I have Mandrills. They have all 5 card types. Okay, then we're going to play around drawing Snapcaster Mage. Just keep a Bolt effect in the bin. We can put another counter there very easily. If they have a creature, we're going to hope we can Mana Leak it. If they have a Boros Charm, we're going to go for Denial. The opponent not casting anything on our end step, very good for us. The scarier hands out of Burn are when they either have a bunch of 1-mana spells and just kill us with efficiency, or when they can use a bunch of spells on our end step, force us to tap out, and then use a bunch of spells again. 3 cards in the opponent's hand means they can actually grow the Swift Spear big enough that it kills Mandrills. I still want to block it, though. Here's the first spell. It's a bolt targeting us. I think we let that resolve. Bolt resolves. We'll see what's next. 2 mana. It is a Skullcrack. Obviously going at us because that's all Skullcrack does. That I don't mind countering. And in fact, I think I want to use the Mana Leak on it. Notably, the opponent can't pay for Mana Leak. Here's the last 2 mana spell. Sure, Swift Spear is going to eat Mandrills, but we're alive, and that's the important thing. Really, being alive is all we care about. I wanted to use the Mana Leak there so that we can counter a burn spell off the top. We're a little soft to a creature off the top. Well, there's a Mana Leak. We're still a little soft to a creature off the top. Goblin Guide is going to do us in if they draw it. Now, I believe what we want to do is cast Serum Visions here, hold up Stubborn Denial. They need 2 spells to make Swift Spear big enough to kill us outright, which means we're not afraid of the crackback. Unless they have a Goblin Guide, but we can't really deal with that anyways. So we'll cast Visions. We have a Denial. We're going to put Bolt on top of the deck. And with that, I think... I mean, we have 2 Denials in hand. We have a Lightning Bolt on top of our deck. We're going to take it a little slower. If I didn't have that Bolt on top, I'd probably attack here, and we just lose to a creature. As is, we don't lose to a creature, which seems pretty good. We're going to engineer a board state in which we can beat a creature off the top. And we can very easily beat a burn spell off the top. So now with Lightning Bolt in hand, we're going to attack the opponent. They will either block or take 5. If they do take 5, we attempt to Bolt Face, and then we Stubborn Denial whatever they use to kill us in response. I suppose we could go to their upkeep, give them a chance to cast a spell here on our end step, but before they draw another card, I want to bolt them. It looks like not attacking us on that one turn is what gave us the game here. Lightning Helix going at us. Yes, it is. Stubborn Denial that. And we actually have both Stubborn Denials up here, so we are super insulated now that we made it to the point where we're not just going to get out-tempoed by the aggro deck. I think I like how we played that. I don't know if that initial attack with Goyf was good or the follow-up don't attack was good, but I kind of like how that went, so I'm not going to complain. Let's look at how we side against Burn. This is a matchup I care about. Now, one important thing is, I believe it was a GP not too long ago. The winning deck was a Burn deck playing, let's pull it up, Shrine of Burning Rage. We'll bring it up on Gatherer so it's visible. Okay, well, Gatherer's not even that big. The Oracle text on the card, it's a 2-mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, or whenever you cast a red spell, put a charge counter on it. 3 mana, tap it, sacrifice it. It deals damage equal to the number of charge counters on it to target creature or player. So the deal with that is it gives Burn a little more inevitability, sort of, when it needs to be the control deck. They can stick one of those on 2, stay alive, and then on turn 7 or so, dome you for like 10 damage, which can be very significant once they decide they want to turn the corner. So given that, my sideboard suggestions here for Burn involve either they have Shrine or they don't have Shrine, as well as play and draw. We didn't see a Shrine, so we're going to assume the opponent's not on it. We're also on the draw. So we're going to board in 2 Pyroclasms, 1 Basic Mountain, 1 Flash Freeze, 2 Huntmaster of the Fells. Let's grab that. Huntmaster, Mountain, Pyroclasm, and Flash Freeze. These are the cards that are coming in. Let's take a look at what's coming out on the draw against not Shrine. 1 Snapcaster Mage gonna go. Savage Knuckleblade, Thought Scour, just 1, Vapor Snag, Dismember, and a Mana Leak. And conveniently, we have 47 seconds to talk about these changes. Huntmaster is here because post-board against Burn, we want to gain a little bit of life if we have the chance. Clog up the board a little bit, just go a little bigger is generally what we want to do. Basic Mountain is great when you just need to fetch out a basic or you need a red source that doesn't shock. Pyroclasm I like more on the draw because they're more inclined to have more creatures on the battlefield. And Flash Freeze counters basically their entire deck. Dismember costs us a bunch of life. Vapor Snag, temporary answer. Thought Scour, we're interacting here to fill up our graveyard. Nux, kinda slow I think, given what it does. If it gets pathed, I'm going to be very sad. A little mana intensive as well, probably makes us want to fetch shock. This hand's a pretty easy mulligan, we don't have lands. The other cards I cut were 1 Snapcaster Mage. This hand I'll keep. We're doing the same thing, although we actually might not. Depending on our scry, I kind of like Bauble. I'm going to throw that on top. I want that. I believe we might actually want to hold up Spell Snare here instead of going straight at Traverse. Our mana development's going to be a little slower. Turn 1 Goblin Guide. This game's not looking good for us. Snapcaster Mage, I'm thinking is probably a little slow, given, oh, we accidentally clicked past priority. Snapcaster Mage, I'm thinking, going to be a little slow. It's basically a 3-mana spell. I don't want too many of those. And Mana Leak on the draw, not always ideal. So those are those cuts. We could look at our top card. That can inform our choices. I'm not playing Delver here. That's an easy one. Top card's a Lightning Bolt. I don't want to shuffle that away. We're going to play Misty Rainforest and fetch out something for Spell Snare. Probably a Steam Vents. Might not be, though. Maybe we want to cast this Traverse. That actually seems like a very good idea. If we need to bolt something, we'll get a Stomping Ground. If we don't need to bolt something, it's probably a breeding pool. We don't know what the opponent's revealing. Misty Rainforest. Now we don't even need to traverse, which is amazing. We still might, just for mandrills. No blocks. We'll go to 16. And here's an Eidolon of the Great Revel, which I think I'll actually get a basic island for, since we now have a second land. So we're only going to have to shock once. Let's just counter that, make Tarmogoyf massive. Do we just play Tarmogoyf? If they have Path to Exile, we kind of get punished. Another land here, so we're just going to get basics. Delver plus Bolt or Tarmogoyf. I'm leaning towards Delver plus Bolt. We're just going to take out the Goblin Guide immediately. I don't want to deal with any of that. If they have a Boros Charm and they can potentially save it, it could get annoying. Delver's not even something I care to play. But, I mean, we have the blue source and we have nothing to do with it, so it's going to be out there. Here's a Lightning Bolt, that's great. Delver of Secrets counter to Lightning Bolt, I'm ecstatic. Delver's not here to win the game post-board. Sometimes pre-board we can actually race burn, which is neat. Here's an Eidolon of the Great Revel. We're going to slam a Hooting Mandrills, and, I mean, it's kind of mean, but we're basically laughing in the opponent's face when we slam Hooting Mandrills against an Eidolon. Get a Forest. Tarmogoyf is relevant here. We don't need creatures or lands. We do have Traverse. I might end up wanting to find the one of Snapcaster Mage. So that's relevant. Take out Misty, take out Spell Snare, take out Misty. That's 3. We could always just tap these. Maybe we leave up the Tarfire in case they path Mandrills. I could live with that. We'll just take Bauble out of the library. I mean, it makes... Taking Bauble out of the graveyard makes Goyf smaller. Maybe I'd just take out Bolt. We have Tarfire anyways. That's fine. I can live with that. And now we're in the fun position of... We got to play a fatty that didn't damage us off of Eidolon, and now the opponent has to get hurt by their Eidolon triggers. I very much enjoyed this part of the game. Here's a path. Yep. That's why we decided to hold up Tarfire. The opponent taking some more damage. I would rather deal with Eidolon than Swift Spear, so this is fine. Prowess Trigger can resolve. Yep. I'll go get an island. Yes. I don't know. Oh, I had popped that out a while ago. I think that was against 8-Rack when they had Leyline of the Void out. That was popped out. We're going to Tarfire this Eidolon because we're taking 2 in combat anyways. So we may as well. Draw a Wooded Foothills. Not great. Oh hey, Tarfire turned Delirium back on? Well, howdy. We can't traverse and play Goyf unless we fetch shock. And I don't really like that line. I think I'd rather do this. We have more than enough mana that we can traverse out of Snapcaster Mage later. Casting Traverse now doesn't get us access to Stubborn Denial in case they draw Path. So I'm quite fine with this. We're probably going to end up fetching on their end step here. Excuse me. Doesn't take us off of anything relevant, so the opponent's probably not waiting for us to crack a fetch before they cast a Path to Exile. 9 is definitely a relevant number compared to 10, given that our opponent is playing Lightning Bolt deck. We can't profitably cast a Traverse here, so I think we can't profitably cast a Hooting Mandrills because it'll shrink Goyf by quite a bit. Tribal and Artifact in the bin. I guess we could Traverse and then just pay a bunch of mana for the Mandrills. I am going to take a look at that. The opponent has Creature, Enchantment, Instant, Land, no Sorcery. So the opponent has 4 card types. We're casting Traverse anyways. Ideally, we're going to leave Bauble and Tarfire in the bin. That means we can only delve 3, which means we have to tap 3 lands. Not ideal. Do we have any Tarmogoyfs? We could just cast a Tarmogoyf. I can't see many scenarios in which that's not the right play. Here's a 7/8 Tarmogoyf. Too bad neither of us play Planeswalkers. We almost have maxed out Tarmogoyfs. Goyf is really good. Did I say Goyf was good? Goyf's good. I used to play this deck in paper without Tarmogoyfs. I played Scavenging Ooze instead. 3 Scavenging Ooze and some instant or sorcery taking up the 4 Tarmogoyf slots. The deck's better with Goyfs. Yeah, that's an easy confirmation. So now we have Lightning Bolt up with 2 monsters, basically. I mean, they're not even just ferocious. They're practically formidable. The Naya keyword, where you need 8 power or more combined. No, formidable is not Naya. Formidable is the Atarka keyword, which is 8 or more. That's post-clans, post-teamer, after cons. We're talking new timeline. The Naya one was 5 power. So these Goyfs are ferocious. They're whatever you want to call the Naya one, because they easily clear 5, and they're almost formidable on their own. 7/8 Tarmogoyfs, they're massive. The opponent scoops, awesome. I don't think we should have won game 1. That felt too close. I think the opponent probably deserved that one if they attacked on that fateful turn. I don't know if they skipped through that or they just wanted to block. They did cast a Lava Spike, which is a sorcery, so maybe they were just casting those spells. I'm not sure. There you have it against Burn. Match 1 in this league, 2-0. So we're 1-0 currently. That's pretty fantastic. Off to a good start against Burn, a deck we haven't played against yet since moving to MTGO, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.